Hi, Arizona. I am Arizona Senator Anna Hernandez representing LD24, and today I want to speak to you about SCR1040, the Misleading Tipped Workers Protection Act. Despite its short title name, this ballot referral does not protect any Arizona workers. Instead, it will allow companies to pay a wage up to 25% per hour less than the set minimum wage. Put plainly, this is an attempt to cut pay even further for tipped workers. Not only is this unnecessary because Arizona already allows employers to pay tipped workers a sub-minimum wage, but it will have devastating effects on Arizona's workers and overall economy. Replacing wages with tips is tied to the United States history of structural racism. It is rooted in post-Civil War employers using it as a way to not pay formerly enslaved Black workers, and legislation like this still disproportionately affects people of color and women. Right now, tipped workers are already living at below poverty level, with tipped workers in Sedona, for example, being unable to live in the community they work in and being forced to sleep overnight in their cars in a state-funded parking lot for a fee. While Sedona is a perfect example of the issue, tipped workers across the state are currently living paycheck to paycheck, and because they rarely are offered full-time work, they also do not have the same benefits or access to health care that other workers do. Wages have not kept up with the price of housing, which contributes to 47% of Arizona renters paying more than 30% of their income on housing. This is even more challenging for tipped workers who face fluctuation in the amount they are tipped week to week, forcing them to make difficult decisions like deciding whether they should pay for their healthcare costs, their groceries, or their rent. You will hear corporate lobbyists, especially from the restaurant industry, claim that paying workers with the full minimum wage with tips will be devastating to businesses, but research shows that that's just not true. 7 states replaced their sub-minimum wages with the full minimum wage with tips on top, and those states are faring better in the number of restaurants and in restaurant employment than all the 43 states with sub-minimum wages. On top of that, workers are happier, more productive, and less likely to quit their jobs. The reality is that arguing over who deserves a tip and how much they should get paid distracts from the real problems, like business models that depend on not paying workers a livable wage, and the fact that wage theft is the biggest form of theft in the United States. SCR 1040 is nothing more than an anti-worker wage reduction act that is disguised as protecting tipped workers. It is time for our legislature to help alleviate stress from Arizonans' lives rather than pass legislation that seeks to reduce earnings for hardworking Arizonans to put more money in pockets of wealthy corporations.